and welcome to the show with me, Gillian Gotzel. Today I'm interviewing Alexander Elhorst, who is the core contributor to Sceptre.fi and also with roamblockchain.com. So Alexander, thank you very much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
So can you tell me a bit about your background, please, your career, academic career, and then your working career, and how you got into blockchain? And
yeah, well, that's definitely not a straight path. So I started studying something, some engineering related studies. It is an IT study, but it's not like the typical like hardcore engineering. So there was a lot of project management and this kind of things in there. And after that, I went to study in the Erasmus University in Rotterdam, which is more government-related studies. I have to think about what it was. Public administration in English. Yes. So that definitely doesn't seem to fit the bill. And after that, I started working at KLM. Had various positions there, started as an IT architect, even spent 2 years as a steward, and ended up doing a Scrum Master type role for a project where we brought iPads on board instead of huge stacks of paper. And then at some point, I decided it was a good idea to move to Finland. So that's where I'm now. And at my first job there, I met two of the co-founders of Rome Blockchain Labs. It wasn't founded by then. And we kept in contact even though he left the company and I left the company. And I worked through several agile and process related jobs at other companies. And then at some point, I started advising the founders of RBL on organizational and operational issues. I did that for about a year.
How are you qualified to advise them? What did you learn along the way?
Well, as I said, like I spent quite some time as a agile coach in various agile coach roles, small companies, big companies, all kinds of process development in these companies. And they didn't have any background in that. So we started simply by having like weekly sessions where they came up with like, okay, we have this issue in the company and we don't know how to solve it. Like, how do we get teams to work together? We have remote teams, all kinds of different nationalities. And so we try to work all of these things out together. We did that for about a year. Of course, in the meantime, I picked up a lot about blockchain and I started using it myself. Of course, to understand initially, but then also just as a way of having a different type of investment. And a year later, they kept on pushing, like, like when are you going to start working with us, like on a daily basis? And then I caved. So I said, okay, I can come on board. So I actually came on board as their COO, and
can you explain a bit about
more than 2 years now?
Can you explain a bit about Rome Blockchain Labs then? Tell me who they are in the world.
So Rome Blockchain Labs aims to build various kind of like products for blockchain. Our leadership team is spread around the globe. So we have some people in the US and we have some people in Europe, mostly in Finland. Yeah, what have we built? So we built some trading strategy products, a sort of like product aggregator, if that means anything. Like, so because you have like lending markets, liquid staking, other products like swap sites, DEXs, and so on. And the aim of that product was to sort of like bring them all together. So you would have a trusted environment instead of just random websites everywhere where you hope you're doing the right thing. That was called Rome Terminal. It still exists, although it never really like became a big thing because we simply didn't have the time once we figured out that our aim should be something else. We've built several lending markets, and most notably, I guess, like Benki, then Tashi, Overmarket, and now we're building also in a different team than where I'm working at the moment, Kinetic for Flare. And besides that, liquid staking, which we've also done for Benki, and now which is on the Avalanche network. And now we're doing this for Flare.
This is the Sceptre project.
Correct. Yes.
So Sceptre, as in the rod with the piece on top that the king or queen might have.
Correct. Yeah.
Why did you choose that name, out of curiosity? Do you know?
We had like several ideas for names, and we asked our marketing person to, check them all out on like, okay, what have they been used for? How do they stand? Like, how does the name stand in general? So basically, the general research you do there. A Sceptre is thought up as a multi-network liquid staking solution. You basically rule various on various networks. Of course, we don't take that serious, but
that kind of fit it in. Okay, can you step backwards then? So tell me, what is Sceptre? What is the project?
Yeah, so Sceptre is a liquid staking platform, which we aim eventually to release on multiple networks, but we're starting with Flare because of.
And then can you do 101? What is a liquid staking platform?
Yes. Okay. So most networks that have a proof of stake consensus model that will help to validate every transaction done on the network. So every transaction needs to be checked. Is this a real one or a fake one, basically? And to do that, you need to run validation nodes to ensure and the validation nodes need to have enough of the network token. In the case of Flare, that's FLR Flare. You get that by staking it to one of those nodes, generally speaking. So you basically take your Flare and you hand it over to the node and you say, okay, you use this, run, and then you can run your process to validate. And then at some point, I will be able to get that back, plus rewards that the node has generated while validating all the transactions. So it gets a reward for every transaction it validates, which is correct. The only problem with that is that I take my assets and I put them somewhere and they're locked up. I can't touch them anymore. I'm just waiting, basically. It's like putting your money in the bank in a savings account where you just can't take it out until a certain date. So you can't do anything with that. What we do with liquid staking is say, okay, we put it there, but in return, we give you this coupon, basically, which has the same value and that you can still use in other protocols. So now you can take this coupon and say, I want to borrow against it. And then you will be able to borrow against it, or you can use it in other places. And then once you want back what you staked, you bring the coupon, the liquid stake token, back to the protocol and you unstake. And then you get your stake, your initial stake plus rewards, usually minus a protocol fee.
And how do you ensure, because you were saying earlier about that aggregator, you want to put everything into a safe environment. How do people know that their assets are safe with you? How do you provide that security?
Okay, so we have security partners who help us figure out if there's anything strange happening on the network. We intend to create some kind of like reporting so users can see that, okay, this is the amount of flare that came in and it went to these nodes, and they can actually check for themselves how much the nodes have and when it came in and so on. But we intend to give them some kind of reporting so they don't actually have to do the job themselves. And we have various security measures in place that I don't want to necessarily discuss in detail, but to make sure that that no one can influence that distribution. And all the contracts that we use have been audited on a regular basis already, though they're based on contracts from a previous platform that has been audited for 2 years already.
So they're very robust.
Yeah,
Mm.
and we intend to use more than one security partner. So the
Okay.
different points of view might help also figure out if something is going on.
So you said you wanted to be multi-chain, but you start off with Flare. Why did you start with Flare?
Well, because Flare is, as we've seen, like young and energetic, so they really have plans, but they're also pushing to do what they say they want to do. And even though they're young and small, and normally that would be maybe difficult for liquid staking because we wouldn't get enough out of the fees to support development and support. They have created this additional form of reward, flare drops, which will make it possible for us to do the work with the regular fee. And we see a lot of good developments in other protocols coming in, which will make the sFlare token that people get in return for staking usable in various places.
I'll make it attractive. Yeah.
Yeah. So it basically just the network has a good amount of potential in it. And that's why we are currently so focused on getting this out on Flare.
And tell me, whereabouts are you in your roadmap? Are you?
So currently we are having some sort of like private beta going on, where a Flare and a couple of other partners are able to check out the system, stake something, see what happens, and so on. So functionally, it's there already, and it's on the mainnet. And if everything goes according to plan, I hope to launch within 2 weeks.
Oh wow! So we're now May. So the end of May, you expect May 2024 to be launched.
That's the goal. Yes.
And what are your expectations in terms of volume, size of number of users and stuff like that? What is your goals?
Goals. Well, that's always difficult because of course we want to capture as much of the flare that goes through the network as possible. So there it's like it will never be 100% because validator nodes need an initial amount of flare stake there that can't go through, as far as I know, can't go through a liquid staking platform because they need to know that it goes exactly to their node, which we can't provide at the moment. Maybe we should figure something out there too. Like on other networks, 10% is reasonable of the is a attainable goal. But if it's more, I'm more than happy, obviously. Because that's also a bit of the background of why we want to do liquid staking, is to ensure that the liquidity doesn't stop when they are staked. There are a lot of these proof of stake networks out there, And if they don't have liquid staking, the liquidity that comes from people investing in the network token kind of stops there because it's like staked and then it's gone, just sitting there. So we want to unlock that. So as many people
liquid
as
staking
possible
can
get
provide
something.
a whole bunch of attractiveness and activity around a network. Basically, it amps up a network.
Yeah, because it frees up that liquidity that is stuck. Now something can be done with it. It can flow again, and so that's definitely the goal here for us.
If people want to find out more about you, where can they find you?
Well, we have the roamblockchain.com website, and of course the Sceptre.fi website, or specifically for Flare, flare.sceptre.fi.
And Sceptre is spelled SCEPTRE, just in case people are struggling with spelling.
Yes. And on the Rome Blockchain Labs site, you can see the team. So you can actually see the people who are behind it. You can't yet at the moment see all the products that we've been building because it hasn't been updated in that area. We're so focused on getting Flare and Kinetic out that we are forgetting about other things. But we will definitely put that out there as well. And otherwise, you can find Sceptre and Rome Blockchain Labs both on Twitter and other platforms.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for your time. Good luck for the launch in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you.